The COVID epidemic closed the courts in California for nearly 2 years. And after they were reopened, there was such a backlog of cases that it became entirely unworkable. I'm Eli Castronova. I'm an attorney in Los Angeles who represents people injured in accidents, and an attorney who actually does go to court and litigates and tries cases. So because of COVID, there were thousands and thousands of cases that were filed, but they did not go to trial because there weren't any courtrooms open. There were no judges to try cases. Everybody was scared that if you get a large number of people together, such as a jury or witnesses in a courtroom, that COVID would spread and people would get sick. So rightfully, they closed the courthouses in California and in Los Angeles County in particular. So initially, when the courts reopened, there was almost a freeze. There were so many cases that had been filed, and there were cases that were ready to go to trial in the courthouses at the time that COVID hit. So if you could see, there's hundreds of thousands of cases that were affected by COVID. So initially what happened is the courts took all of the cases that were supposed to go to trial during COVID, but they didn't, and set these cases with a new trial date. Then the newer cases that were filed, they set the trials further out than they normally would. And finally, they've come up with a new procedure just this year as to where cases should be tried to try to avoid this logjam. Previously, in the 20 years or so before this, every case that was going to go to trial, they all went to a clearinghouse sort of approach in downtown Los Angeles, where the cases were filed there. And then when a case was going to trial, when a courtroom would open anywhere in the county of Los Angeles, the case was sent to the first open courtroom. So for example, you can have an accident that took place in, let's say, Long Beach, and the case is filed downtown. And then when you show up for the day of trial, you're not necessarily going to go to trial in Long Beach. If a courtroom opened up in the San Fernando Valley or in Pomona or Santa Monica or something of that nature, then that would be the courtroom that you would potentially go to. So it kind of wreaked havoc on the attorneys, not knowing where they would try a case. The experts who you wouldn't know whether the experts would have to show up in Santa Monica or Pomona, and whether they'd be available to go to those different places. And also to the litigants, because the people that showed up who were very concerned about the case, the plaintiff and the defendant, they wouldn't know where they were going to go to. So now, just starting in January of this year, they have a procedure where cases are directly assigned. So if an accident occurred in the San Fernando Valley, it's going to be filed in the San Fernando Valley. It's going to trial in the San Fernando Valley. And Long Beach, if a case happened there, if an accident happened there, it'd be filed in Long Beach. It would be tried in Long Beach. So you get more certainty as to where cases will be tried from the time that you file the lawsuit. And this is going to be a lot easier and a lot more time effective and cost effective. But then again, some courthouses are more conservative because there are more conservative parts of the county. So if the case has to be filed in Chatsworth or Torrance or something like that, where the people are very conservative that sit on the juries, it's not necessarily a benefit to the injured person. The other thing that they did is they set the trial dates out further than they were initially setting them out. So they hope to clear this backlog of cases within the next couple of years or so, and then it'll be business as usual. But COVID really threw a wrench in things, and it delayed justice for injured people. But by the time that the courtrooms were open again, we had not stopped working. We were constantly settling cases, mediating cases, um, pushing cases towards litigation by taking depositions by Zoom and things of that nature because we couldn't take them in person. So while other attorneys might have done very little during that time and maybe took a holiday, we were working as hard, if not harder, and we were able to resolve many cases and get the justice and the compensation that my clients fairly deserve.
I can't say enough good things about Eli. Having worked for numerous attorneys, he is my favorite. He has handled numerous cases for my family, and I from personal injury to medical malpractice. He has exceeded our expectations every time. We just broke the record recently on a hit and run I was involved in, settling the case in 3.5 weeks for more than I expected. Thanks, Elia. The Doral family.
Simply the best lawyer and got me a very good settlement. I'd recommend him to anyone. I know, thank you.
It went very well with the lawyer. I highly recommend him 100%. All the staff are very friendly and they help you with any questions. Thanks for your review, Luis Enrique Lopez. It's appreciated.
Mr. Castronova was nothing less than a blessing. Going to court in pain is stressful beyond belief. But not only did he ensure I was comfortable, he did everything in his power to fight for my case. Best attorney around. Hands down. Thanks for your review, Lionel Coleman. It's appreciated.